Hello, welcome to this update. This will be a relatively quick video, but let's see what's happening for North America. In the tropics, we have many new stuff going on to talk about, and also the severe weather. Let's start the severe weather, and then the tropics. You can skip ahead if you wish. So let's see. There's this light risk of severe weather today from Texas to Colorado, spots in Oklahoma and Kansas as well, and then this marginal risk in the plains and also in the northwest. There's a 2% tornado threat in Texas and through Oklahoma and Kansas, spots of southeastern Colorado. Wind 15% and 5% in the other areas, and some big hail possible too, especially in Texas and to Colorado and Kansas, and the Panhandle in Oklahoma. So be careful, some large hail and some 5% hail in Oregon as well. So large to very large hail and damage winds possible this afternoon and evening, power central southern high plains, additional strong severe storms possible in the northwest in the afternoon. So be careful those areas. Day two, there's still this marginal risk in spots central high plains and also in Montana and Idaho. So there's zero tornado threat, but some wind and hail possible, especially wind. Actually, thunderstorms with severe gusts and hail possible Monday from parts northern Rockies into the Dakotas and central high plains. So BR Tuesday is still a marginal risk from Kansas to Canada. So there's also this general thunderstorm threat, more areas including the south, and thunderstorms which are threat of isolated severe gusts and hail possible across parts central northern plains on Tuesday. So be aware, but especially today in the slight risk. There's an elevated fire threat, spots in the Great Basin still, and some isolated dry thunderstorms possible Sunday today. Monday, a critical fire threat, spots of Utah and Arizona, Nevada. So stay safe, still some isolated dry thunderstorms, and day three possibly still critical in those same areas. Day three and day four is practically showing the same areas. So stay safe in those areas and be careful. Here, there's this slight risk of excessive rainfall in the southeast still today, and also in Texas, Oklahoma. So be careful those storms producing some heavy rain, and there's day two still a slight in the southeast and two other marginals. Day three still a slight in Georgia, so there'll be many days of some heavy rain in the southeast. Be careful. Day 1 through 7 shows upwards of 5 inches in spots of Georgia, Florida, even to 7 inches in a spot of the Florida Panhandle. So please be careful. Day 1 through 5 area shows next 5 days close to 5 inches or more in those areas. Next 3 days are at 3 to 4 inches, and especially next 7 days. So be careful with flooding in the southeast. Stay safe, and also some more storms in central western Canada and some spots in the northern plains there in Minnesota too. The southwest is fairly dry, so stay safe those areas. Still some extreme heat in a few areas. Let's see if this is recent. So, an extreme heat to develop in the desert southwest. Temperatures will trend upwards next week across the desert southwest. Upper level ridge cells overhead. High temperatures expect to reach the mid 110s Fahrenheit by Tuesday, creating dangerous conditions for anyone without cooling or hydration. So this is Monday through Thursday. Some extreme heat risk in Arizona, New Mexico, into Texas. So please be careful. And he still some extreme heat possible into week two. So stay safe. Be careful those areas. And let's see those severe storms first. So there were still some storms ongoing. They died, but the actual severe storms, the HER's not showing too much on the 12Z, but it does show some stronger to severe ones in Texas, some in the Panhandle as well, some large hail, and later into Monday, tomorrow, it starts some stronger ones there in Colorado, those areas. So be careful. Also in Montana and Idaho, in Canada, in Alberta, in British Columbia, some more storms Monday, tomorrow. So be careful. There's the zero Z here. It did show some ongoing clusters that died, but this afternoon it does show in the Texas Panhandle some stronger cells, and also like does show a few storms in Nebraska, South Dakota too. So be careful. Those areas, there's still some moderate to high Cape right in the slight risk area there. So be aware, Monday still shows some Cape in the plains and some in the northwest into Canada, some 1,000, 2,000 joules per kilogram. In the plains is almost to 4,000. So be careful. The updraft released until Monday morning doesn't show too much. Like it shows like a finger to northern Texas, some spots there, but the horse not too excited like I expected it to be. But if I put next 48 hours until Tuesday, it shows a few more tracks along Montana, a finger two in Idaho, into southern Alberta, some stronger storms, and now it shows something that makes more sense, especially Monday, the Texas Panhandle spots in Oklahoma. So be aware those storms and the tornado threat is very low. But let's just see if there's something by 1Z this evening that the show those areas, the slight trees like some two, one, like some very low tornado parameters. So be aware, but still nothing too crazy. So let's see those temperatures Sunday afternoon today are in the 110 to 111 in the southwest and even higher. So be careful. Some 90s in the southwest, more than 100 in Texas as well. Some 70s and 80s in the northeast. So be careful. Still shows during the night in the south, southwest, relatively hot, and then shows like already 112 Monday afternoon in Arizona, 110. So please be careful in Phoenix in those areas, even like Nevada, some 90s in the Rockies, plains, not Rockies, but like in the lower elevations in southern Texas. So be careful during the night. The rest is kind of fine, but still like still hot. Like some 87 degrees in Arizona during the night. That's extremely hot. Please be careful. Show like 214 on Tuesday afternoon, 111, 212. So please stay safe. Like some 90s in Texas, Florida, and also some 80s in the Northeast. The plains too. So please stay safe, especially in Arizona. The heat indices might be slightly higher. Although there's barely any humidity in the southwest, there might be some moderate heat indices slightly higher than the actual temperature. So be careful, still like 90 degrees during the night on Wednesday morning. Please stay cool during the night. And Thursday looks like to be a very dangerous day. So let's start in the lighter areas. Shows like 100 in Texas, 203 in New Mexico, some 90s in Florida, in the south, spots in the plains, especially in Colorado, some close to 100. But in Arizona, 117 degrees by the National Weather Service, just south of Phoenix, nearly to 116 Phoenix. It might feel like an oven. Please stay safe. 116 in California, even like in the Death Valley, even more, and more spots, southern Utah to 100, New Mexico. So please stay safe. A day later, on Thursday afternoon, it nearly shows 117 over Phoenix. Please warn others that this is coming. Grab some extra ACs and please stay safe. 116 California, close to 100 near Los Angeles. So be careful too. 120 in Death Valley or even more, and more, even like 110 in Las Vegas. So please be careful. During the night, still show like 90 degrees during the night in those areas. Next Friday afternoon, hopefully it gets better to 111, 113, but still very hot. And by Saturday, the 9th, is slightly better. And still, you can see here some 100s in Texas, there 90s in the plains. So this is like this is like a week from now. Next Saturday still shows in the plains, fairly hot, more areas. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful. Now, let's take a look in the Atlantic because it has been very quiet last month and everything. But now we have some probabilities as we're going through August. So the latest European model ensembles, including the 12Z from yesterday and also the 0Z today, shows a lot of support for something trying to form from the main development region heading north into the open Atlantic in the middle of August. There's Invest 95L near the southeast coast. They might come from a low pressure off the coast of Virginia in the US. So there's a lot of support there as well. And here, if I put like 240 hours, does show this system might head north into the open Atlantic if it forms, because we don't know yet. But there's a lot of support on the European, on the GFS, slightly less, but it does show later. The GFS starts initializing this later, but by 240 hours, it does have like some members out there in the Atlantic. Some are further south in the European, and I don't know if this run is of the GFS is like full. Let's put the 0Z because here says 174 hours, so like let's go further to 240. So the GFS has less members than the European, but it also has some support in those areas, so better watch too. So here's 50-50% chance with invest 95W, and like a non-tropical area of low pressure located on the frontal boundary of about 180 miles of the coast of North Carolina is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions are marginal conductor for this to become a tropical or subtropical depression or storm today or Monday, while it moves east northeast toward about 10 miles per hour away from the coast. So after Monday, the conditions will already become worse. So we are watching that, but you likely head out to sea. And then there's disturbance to already to 30% chance in the open Atlantic. A shock waves forecast to move off the west coast of Africa in the next day or two, and some gradual development is possible during the middle latter part of next week, while most generally west northwestward across central tropical Atlantic. So we are watching this. Still no threat to land, but better just monitor. And there's the Eastern Pacific. There's even more action there. Now there's this disturbance to the west of Mexico, 50%, and there's disturbance one. Yeah, there's invest 90E, already to 90% chance. So our next storm might be coming. I think the name is Ernette or something like that, the next name. So be aware, but this might head away from land as well. And there's the remnants of Gil just heading out to sea. No threat for Hawaii. This humanity spate. If any winds will remain out to sea. So be aware. And here there's Invest 95L in the Atlantic. Most models turn this into tropical storm strength. Only like 3 or 4 of them keep it below tropical storm strength. But this does have a high chance to become a tropical storm. 2 of them have hurricane, but I don't think it will become a hurricane. We'll see, but it's already got a lot of convection, practically a low pressure center, right? So this thing is already looking very good. So there's here like the GFS shows North Atlantic. It does have like that system of the East Coast. This coast might be subtropical or tropical. It forms another on the Eastern Pacific, just southwest of Mexico. And then it does try to form this one by August 9th in the open Atlantic, like 1,004 millibars on this latest run of the GFS. This goes and the GFS just turns crazy later, so don't even look at this like 9:54. Don't close your eyes now, but you never know. We'll be watching, but don't trust the GFS like that. There's the European. It has a weaker storm of North Carolina, just 1,009 millibars, but it also has a storm that might get named. And it does have the tropical wave in the Atlantic, like 1,010 millibars by August 7th. This goes in, and the European strengthens this later out in the Atlantic towards the Azores. So every model has a different thing, but we'll see what happens. The Canadian too has a low pressure dumping some rain in the southeast and invest 95L. It forms another one south of Mexico and the Eastern Pacific. And this coming tropical wave, the Canadians not showing much at first, but later it brings another one by August 11th. So we'll be watching that and be aware those areas. So l- let's just see something. And because here, so the next name is Dexter in the Atlantic. We had Chantal Berry. The next name is Dexter, and it might be coming from this invest off the East Coast. So be aware in case of some rough surf or some gale warnings further out to sea with this, but this has no threat to land. So now always be careful as usual with the storms in Central America, Mexico, like 100 millimeters southern Mexico next 5 days. More spots like in Panama, Nicaragua, some heavier storms, and those afternoon storms as usual, like in Cuba and Jamaica, some in Dominican Republic. Some can be strong with lightning, gusty winds, so be careful. But some showers in the Bahamas and thunderstorms, and a few passing showers and storms to the Eastern Caribbean. But just be aware as usual, but nothing crazy in Canada. There's an interesting trend. The Europeans even to like 97 millimeters there in Alberta, so we will have some storms central to northwestern Canada as well. So be aware next few weeks in those areas. And in the eastern US, the Europeans even to like some 6 inches in Virginia in 5 days across South Carolina, some 4 inches. So be careful, the heavy rain there. And now, the European model shows some storms there in Alberta, then Sunday, Monday, even like Northwestern Territories, some rain in British Columbia. It even shows some systems in Nunavut, like this is Tuesday night, some storms in Nunavut. And it does show Wednesday the 6th, some storms the northern plains in the US, into Saskatchewan and like Manitoba. So be aware this week, those storms in southern Canada. Just checking if they have something for today here, but let's see. Nothing too crazy today if this is Sunday, but a funnel cloud or two possible is mentioned here. In Ontario, storm or two as well. And yeah, in Quebec, this is Sunday. They do have some gusty winds and hail in central Quebec, so be aware those areas. Just checking some final things here, like temperature, kind of colder there in the Rockies in Alaska and Western Canada, but central Canada is quite warm. Some 31 degrees, southernmost British Columbia as well. Then Monday during the night, kind of fall some across Quebec into the west as well, but during the afternoon, southern Ontario does increase some as well, some mild to hot temperatures, a few spots, and still some spots colder northwesternmost Yukon and northwestern territories there. But still, like this is the view on next week. Does show some warmer temperatures, much as central southern Canada, while there's that crazy heat wave in the southwestern US. So be aware those areas, and also be careful, as I showed before, the fire danger in the US into next week, because the Europeans still show some gusty winds, a few interior portion of the US late middle next week, and also like spots of Canada next Thursday. Wednesday, Nunavut shows stronger winds northern Quebec on Wednesday. So be aware and stay safe. We'll keep monitoring the tropics and everything.